Children are said to be people who have very strong and retentive memory. Anything you do around or you do for children when they are growing up, they would never ever forget. They would never forget. Be it bad, be it good, positive, negative, they would never forget. Sometimes when I'm with my parents and I just tell them things they did when I was young, they will say, "Hey, you this speaking, they forget something." I have record of things that happened when I was growing up that if I tell my parents, they will be shocked. I think it's the same thing for, other children as well. When sometimes, when they tell you what you did to them, you'll be shocked that, this child still remember. Children never forget. They never forget how you treated them when they are growing up. They never forget, the good things you do to them as well. What made me, to say all those things? It's because Akpabio on Children's Day, according to reports, it's the norm whereby the Senate president will come out and speak to the children, encourage them. You are the future of, you are the leaders of tomorrow. Just talk to them and exhort them. But yesterday, according to reports, the Senate president reportedly ignored the children, and these children were said to be standing for hours waiting for the Senate president to come out to greet them. Guess what, guys? Anyway, I'll talk about that in the rest of the video. Let me not give you all the juicy news at the beginning. Before we go into that, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe. You don't want to miss it. Also, give this video a massive thumbs up as well, because that way I'm encouraged to keep giving you more reliable and authentic news. Lastly, please leave your opinions in the comments section. I respond to all of my comments. Nigerian Senate President Godswill Akpabio on Tuesday snubbed children who came from 3 schools in Abuja to celebrate and honor him at the Children's Day celebration. Every year, selected schools bring children to the parliament to observe the Children's Day, and the Senate president addresses them. Akpabio was expected to speak to the children with words of hope, encouragement, and what the government was doing to help the Nigerian child, but he unfortunately walked past without a courtesy in the full glare of journalists. News of Nigeria reports that the children from Our Lady of Fatima Sisters Academy, Jabi, Katerina International Academy, Dawaki, and Lead British International School, Gwarinpa, Abuja, turned out in their numbers before they encountered disappointment. Speaking to News Sport, a female teacher who pleaded not to be quoted expressed disappointment, saying the development could demoralize the children, as some of them couldn't identify who amongst the retinue of aides following the Senate president, Godswill Akpabio. She said after spending 3 hours waiting for the arrival of the Senate president, he couldn't encourage them. She recalled that this development was different from the past, when a Senate president would gladly address and assure children of a glorious future. We have spent 3 hours with the sergeant at arms coordinating us, but we are disappointed that the Senate president didn't address us. Many children didn't know him except on television, and you journalists also know that being here is also part of an excursion that will further enlighten the children, she said. This is why I said all of the things I said at the beginning, that children do not forget. Imagine how downcast, these children would be yesterday when they waited several hours. For hours, these children were standing, waiting for the Senate president to come and address them. These children would have gone home happy, even if, I'm very sure that he was busy. He's the Senate president. That position entails a lot. No doubt he might have been busy. But if he could have just spared 2 minutes or 5 minutes, to just stand and talk to them. How are you doing? You are the leaders of tomorrow. All of those small talk. He could have just, taken out 5 minutes of his time, 5 minutes of his entire day to speak and address these children. And these children would have gone home ecstatic. They would have gone home happy. They would have told their friends, their parents. You know how children are. They would have gone home. They would have told their friends, their parents, anyone that cared to listen about their experience at Aso Rock. But no. Instead, they stood there for hours waiting for him. And when, they thought he was coming out to address them, he just walked past. Had he been, he did not even come out at all. They did not even, see him outside. They would have been that, maybe he was busy, he did not have time. But he came out and he walked past them. He walked past them as if they were invisible. You can imagine. Anyway, I'm not surprised. But you guys, before we go, let's take a look at some of the reactions we got online. The first comment is from Idioko, who says, senators didn't just celebrate the Nigerian children for their Children's Day. The children were brought into the Red Chamber Not just that the plenary session was suspended in order to receive the children. The Nigerian Senate President, upon God's will, Akpabio, JCON, had the privilege of shaking hands with all of them and on behalf of the entire Nigerian children, for their Children's Day being 27th May. Okay. Sunday Peter says maybe Senate President mine was not there, or he may not be well informed, but for him not to attend to the children, having waited for 3 hours, it's a national embarrassment. Remy says Akpabio is a special character that always lack what's reasonable thing to say. For him not to goof again, he better walk past. Maybe he was afraid of, saying the wrong thing. The ever cancel Obi to remain and repair his party. I know you always lack what to say. How can you remain in a house that is infested with all manners of dangerous pests? You need to go out to fight hard to regain control over your thing. That is what Obi is doing. He remaining a member of Labour Party. Prince Ekong says social media lawyers and judges in Federal Republic of Nigeria on a bad pass even the government in power. Plus CUAB. Opposition's parties and so many of you are evil incarnates, living like human beings, but you are demons. Following social media journalists to making defamation statements against the Senate president without verifying whether what people posted on social media is true or not. You people are demons, even worse than the government. Oni Ezekiel says, "Hi, Mr. Oni Ezekiel, Odesomi hereby apologize on behalf of our Senate president. He's a nice man in his right element. He could have even organized some gifts for the future leaders. You will all agree with me that this uncommon man has been under intense pressure. He has been going through quite a lot in the past few months. His action was very much unlike him. He's a good man." You know him personally, you know he's a good man. But how do we know? We don't know him personally. Chris says, I don't see what the Senate president did wrong, since he has no package for the children. Allow the man to go and enjoy as usual. They wait, we go they enjoy. Festus Oriade says, those children are not grown-up ladies or as beautiful as Natasha. That is why he's not recognizing nor even seeing them. Very good. Abio, that might be true. Emma Speed says, Akpabio, probably Nigeria's worst Senate president ever. That's man. Rita says, Nigeria, which way? After the children waited for 3 hours, yet no acknowledgement from Akpabio that calls himself the Senate president. I can't even imagine what the children felt yesterday. You all, let's have your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section below. Thank you very much for always listening and watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.